at the heart of the story we've been looking at, the fundamental message that I have within this story is that God has made you uniquely you, and no one else can reveal his glory in the way that you do. And our whole life's journey, your coming to Christ, is ultimately about that. And I love the way our Presbyterian friends captured this revelation. They have the Westminster Catechism, or the shorter Westminster Catechism, which is when they boil what faith is down, or what faith is about, down to a single statement. They have something called the Westminster Catechism. And they say the glory of man or woman is man or woman fully alive. And it's profound when you actually kind of dive into that thought. The glory of God, and the glory of God is who he is. When we glorify him the most is when you are fully who God made you to be. And in order for you to become that, you have to overcome the issue that we looked at last week around what happened when Adam and Eve, our forefathers, ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And if you remember back, and if you weren't here, let me remind you, when they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the temptation or the test or what was going on was, what makes us human and not snake? What makes you human and not snake? And that really was what the temptation struggle was ultimately about. The snake was one of the wild animals. It says it in Genesis 3:1. He's one of the wild animals, and he's the best potential suitor for humanity, the best. And we looked at that, and I saw some of your faces last week when I suggested that this was the job of the animals prior to Eve being given to Adam, was that God brings potential suitors in the form of wild animals before Adam to see if there's any suitable mate there. And he discovers, no, there isn't amongst the animals. And the snake, God gives Adam Eve, and there's magic and they become one flesh. But straight after that, the snake shows up. And just a reminder that the snake shows up, and he's described in our English translations as being cunning or sly or deceitful. But the actual Hebrew word is the same word for naked that's used of Adam and Eve's naked, the very preceding verse. So he presents in his nakedness. And I shared last week with you how the snake's nakedness, the snake was really doing what snakes do or animals do with the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He's saying, like, if you want to eat it, eat it. That's kind of what animals do. We just act on impulse. We act on instinct. And fundamentally, that's the difference between how God has made you and differentiated us from the animals.